Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is obviously going to be different because you're probably like, where the heck are we at? We're right now in my bedroom, but I wanted to share with you guys a few fragrances that I plan on decluttering. So of course, like many of you, you're probably decluttering and organizing and cleaning and all that good stuff, and I've been doing a lot of that as well. And so I decided to get rid of some fragrances that I don't love, that I don't necessarily gravitate towards very often. And so a lot of them do collect dust in my collection, obviously. So I just wanted to share with you a few of the ones that I am going to be giving away. And actually most of these have already sold. So the first one is going to be this right here. I'm really hoping that this is in focus. Come on, Camila. Get it together. This is Calvin Klein's Eternity for women, and this is one that I mentioned to you guys that could definitely serve as a signature scent. This is definitely one that would be perfect for like the workplace, just like a very easy transitional type of fragrance. In terms of pretty much what this smells like, the reason that I'm actually giving this away is because there's a strong carnation note in here, and on my skin it stays very prominent throughout the whole time that it's on my skin, which gives it a lot of edginess to it. But at the same time, I feel like there's something about that carnation and my body chemistry that still is just a little bit displeasing to me. And so that's the reason why I decided to give this away. As you guys can tell, I've used a little bit of it. Hopefully you guys can see this. I've used a bit of this and I do like the way that it smells, but I just wish that that carnation note was not as prominent on my skin. And so I decided to basically, like I mentioned, just sell this fragrance itself. So this is going to leave my collection. So this is Elizabeth and James French Gray. And I love the packaging of these. I love the fact that they are celebrity fragrance, so it's fairly affordable and you can pretty much find a lot of these fragrances anywhere. The only thing about this, and I love how simplistic it is, the notes in here are lavender, neroli, and musk. And I love the fact that it's so simplistic. The only thing is that I wish the lavender was a little bit more prominent. I'm sorry if you guys hear my washing machine going as well. This is why I didn't want to come on camera, because I'm looking busted. But anyways, for this one, like I mentioned, it has lavender, neroli, and musk. And I just wish that the lavender was a little bit more prominent, just because I feel like the neroli is, I don't know, just the neroli is very strong, very pungent. It definitely is an easy to wear kind of like spring summer scent. Also a scent that you could probably also wear year round. It's not an overly complex fragrance at all. It's refreshing, but it's still kind of like calming and relaxing all at the same time. So I do really enjoy that about this scent. The only thing is, as I mentioned, you definitely get kind of like that green citrus floral type of nature, especially in the opening of the fragrance itself. The dry down is a bit softer because of the lavender and the musk, so it does help to kind of soften up the sharp edges of the neroli, but at the same time I do still feel like the neroli is a little bit too strong and prominent on my skin, and so I wish the lavender was a little bit more prominent. There are other fragrances that I typically layer this with that make it a little bit more pleasing, but at the same time, I just hate having fragrances that I feel that I have to layer for them to be likable to me. And so, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and give this away. I already put it on Mercari. I'll make sure to include the information down below as far as my Mercari store. This is still for sale. I don't know if you guys can see how much I've used. I haven't used that much of this. I just wish that it worked for me because I love the notes, but it just doesn't work for me. So that's going to be the second fragrance that I'm giving away. This is Sofia Vergara Love. Now, when it comes to this scent, it's not that I don't like it. I do like it. I just feel like it's just too sweet. So if you love your sweet fragrances, you will definitely enjoy this fragrance. In the dry down, it definitely gets a little bit like sexy, perfect for like date night or a night out. So I do enjoy that, but I just feel like it's just a little bit too sweet in my opinion, and it is a bit nauseating to me as well. So it's definitely a cloying sweet fragrance in my opinion. But what I will say is that this is definitely a great value. There's something about Sofia Vergara where I don't know what she put in her fragrances, but she did a really great job as far as just the potency of the fragrances itself, and also making sure that the fragrances actually last on your skin. This is going to be a long lasting scent. So if you're interested in actually getting this fragrance and you're kind of concerned about longevity, you really do not have to worry about this at all. It's a really long lasting fragrance. As I mentioned, you can definitely wear it for a night out. You can wear it for date night. It's definitely sweet. It's definitely going to garner you some compliments as well, but it's just a little bit too sweet for me. So yeah, so Love by Sofia Vergara is also leaving my collection. The next one that's going to leave my collection, I feel like you guys are going to be like, what is wrong with you? Is going to be this. And of course, I'm sure as you guys can tell by the bottle, if it will focus, focus baby, focus. Come on. Okay, you guys know what it is. So this is the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Toilette. Now, when it comes to the scent, I like it. It's a really good fragrance for summertime specifically. It's a very strong citrus type of fragrance. The only thing that I can say, and the only thing about this fragrance that I feel like I don't like, is I feel like the citrus note is very sharp and a little bit offensive in my opinion. In the dry down, it definitely does get a little bit kind of like more of like the floral notes come out to play, and then it also gets a bit musky on my skin as well. It's actually a bit of a musky base in my opinion, especially on my skin, but I do feel like the citrus is very sharp in the opening. It's a bit tart, and then like I mentioned, in the base it gets a little bit musky. This is a fragrance that I've had in my collection for a long time. I've kept it in my collection for a long time because it's not a bad scent at all. I haven't tried the Eau Intense one, which now that this is leaving my collection, I do want to try that one in hopes that the citrus is not as sharp. But when it comes to this scent, like I mentioned, even though it's been in my collection for a while, it's never my first option, to be honest with you. It's a good spring summer scent. It's a good kind of like year-round scent if you really wanted to, especially if you love citrus in your fragrances. But there's just something about it that just is not, I don't know, I just don't really care for it too much. So that's gonna be Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Toilette. This is also leaving my collection. The next one is going to be, you guys probably knew this was coming. This is going to be her cousin. This is Dolce & Gabbana Toi l'Impératrice, and this is the Eau de Toilette as well. Yes, so this is also the Eau de Toilette. Now you guys know how I feel about this fragrance. I've mentioned many times that this fragrance does not last on my skin at all, and so I'm sure that you guys probably saw this coming. This is basically a very juicy, fruity fragrance. So if you are someone that loves, I guess, a gourmand scent, but you just basically want to smell more like a fruit basket, this is definitely a great choice for you. You get kind of like the juicy, aquatic, fresh, just like a very refreshing kiwi as well as watermelon note. That's pretty much the main notes that I get. I think there's also strawberry in here as well, so you'll definitely get kind of like a very aquatic, juicy fruit type of scent, and that's pretty much the way that it lingers on your body. On my skin, as I mentioned, I only get 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of this fragrance, and so for the longevity, I just feel like it's not worth it. And then also, to be honest with you, I just feel like unless it's a hot summer day, maybe like a hot summer day or a hot summer night, this isn't something that I gravitate towards very often, simply because it smells like literally a fruit basket: kiwis, watermelons, and strawberries. And I do feel like on my skin it is, I don't know, it just smells a bit juvenile to me. If this works for you, that's amazing. It's just for me and the way that I wear fragrances and the type of fragrances that I like, this is just not what I thought it was going to be. So again, this is going to be Dolce & Gabbana Toi l'Impératrice, and this is also leaving my collection. But this is basically the original Vera Wang by Vera Wang. I've recommended this fragrance many times before because I really do love and enjoy this fragrance, but to be honest with you, I feel like you have to, for one, if you are looking into this scent specifically, you have to love floral fragrances, because this is basically florals in a bottle, which is beautiful to me. It's feminine, it's pretty, it's elegant, it's classy, it's very, very easy to wear. This does have a little bit of a maturity to it, in my opinion. And honestly, if you're looking for this, or if you have this and you're looking for an alternative that smells a bit more youthful but still sophisticated, I would definitely recommend that you try out the, what is it called? Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. They're very, very similar in my opinion. They smell very similar, but that one is a bit more fresh, so it gives it a bit more of a youthful nature to it without taking away the sophistication and elegance of the scent itself. Perfect to wear to work, perfect to go shopping with, perfect to do whatever you want with. It's a perfect, easy, everyday scent. But like I mentioned, this one is a bit more mature. I don't know if you guys can see that this is a bit tarnished around here. I don't know if you guys can actually see it, just because I've had it in my collection for a while, but I feel like some of these packagings, they just, I don't know, something happens where they just get tarnished easily. But this is a really nice scent, but as I mentioned, it's a bit more mature. It's very floral, but it's a perfect, easy to wear scent. You can definitely get this for like Mother's Day, although Mother's Day already passed, or just like for your mom, or just like a grown woman in your life that loves floral fragrances. They'll probably really enjoy this. But this is leaving my collection, so bye Vera Wang. And then the last one that's leaving my collection as well, you guys, is going to be her right here. Now, you guys, it's not that I don't like the scent. I did a video basically comparing it to the Carolina Herrera Good Girl. And I do feel like they do pull some similarities. They don't smell completely the same, but they do definitely pull some similarities. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll make sure to have a card pop out right here. But when it comes to this one, it's definitely more like mixed berries in the opening. So it's kind of like a burst of berries in the opening. So if you love your fruity fragrances, and if you love like a fruity floral gourmand scent, you'll definitely enjoy this fragrance for sure. So that's pretty much what it is. You get the burst of berries in the opening, you get some floral notes, and then you get a little bit more of a rich, sexy darkness in the base, where it definitely gets a little bit more seductive, a little bit more just sexy in the base. So it's definitely perfect for like date night or a night out, or just if you just want to feel sexy. I think that this is also one that you can wear from daytime to nighttime. I don't think that it's only restricted to nighttime, but at the same time, in comparison between this one and the Carolina Herrera Good Girl, I prefer that one. I'm not really someone that, I'm okay with fruits in my fragrances, but I'm realizing that I am a bit particular as to what fruits are in my fragrances, and I don't really like a very prominent berry note in my fragrances at all. So any type of berries you can think of, unless it's done and it's balanced to perfection, I don't really enjoy them. And this one, the berry notes is definitely prominent throughout the whole time, and so that's why I am going to be giving this away. Let me smell it. Yeah, it's a really nice scent. I mentioned in that video as well that especially in the opening, there is a little bit of a kind of like synthetic-y, plasticky type of note that you get when you first spray the scent. So it does smell a bit generic in the opening, and it kind of lingers throughout the time that it's on your skin, but it does kind of like dwindle down the longer that it stays on your skin. But at the same time, as I mentioned, I just don't really like the strong fruits that are in here, and I just prefer the Carolina Herrera Good Girl over this one. So this is also leaving my collection. So that is it, everybody. That's going to be pretty much the last fragrance that I wanted to mention to you that is leaving my collection. Most of these have already sold, but as I mentioned to you guys, I will make sure to include my store down below, so check the description box for the store itself in case you guys are interested in shopping other items, and then also in case I do add additional fragrances and things like that as well, because I am still decluttering, probably like most of you. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in to another video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you guys stay safe, and God willing, I'll see you next time. Peace.